Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Liquidware Chats. Now this one is a little bit different. So we actually got the chance to go live. We recorded this episode live at the EUC Forum in London on April 25th. And for this episode, I sat down with none other than Nerdio McLouglin, who's the field CTO for the UK and Ireland at Nerdio. So Neil explained what Nerdio do in terms of EUC, and we also then looked at the partnership between Nerdio and Liquidware and about the power of FlexApp One integrated with Nerdio Manager. So we had a really good discussion about that and really delved deep into the end-to-end solution. Also, with everything going on, it would be remiss for us not to talk about the effects of AI and end-user computing. So I really hope you enjoy the episode. Thanks very much. How are you doing, Neil?
I'm doing good. It's really happy to be here today. It's a really good event turnout. So, yeah, very happy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely from what I've seen so far, it's been a really good turnout and some really good sessions. And we're just going to talk today a little bit about what is Nerdio and our collaboration as Liquidware and Nerdio together.
Yep.
So maybe just give us a little bit about your own background to start off.
Absolutely. So obviously, we've known each other for a while now, right? So
we have.
I've probably been in the VDI space for probably well over 15 years. My background is very much kind of Citrix. I started using Citrix at presentation server 4.5 level, so just showing how old I am.
I did presentation server 3, so I'm
yeah,
older.
You beat me. So yeah, I've been around for a while, sort of in the VDI space, and then sort of recently moved on to as a virtual desktop. So my background used to be consultancy mainly, but I went to work for a company called New Signature, and then sort of discovered AVD, and then saw what Nedio were doing, and then basically started evangelizing lots of stuff because they were pretty much fixing every single thing I was coming across. And then the opportunity arisen for me to join them as their first person in the UK. And so I joined them as a sort of UK field CTO, and that was about 2 years ago now. So since I've joined, the company's kind of doubled in size, doubled in revenue, doubled in numbers. So it's certainly on an explosive growth, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it has. God, 2 years. I didn't realize it'd been 2 years.
Yeah,
It's really flown by.
It's crazy, right?
And as you said, the level of just looking at the presentation Vadim did this morning, you see how you guys have grown and all the different things. So kind of what's the kind of latest thing that Nerdio are kind of have expanded into? Because I know, you were very focused on delivering AVD desktops, but since, the whole feature set has grown dramatically in a very short space of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we started focusing on just kind of Azure Virtual Desktop, and sort of enhancing the Azure Virtual Desktop capabilities, so around image management and auto scaling and those kind of things as well. And obviously, as anything, the market changes. So obviously we then started to go into the Windows 365. So we started supporting that. So more recently, we've started supporting Azure Stack HCI.
All right, very good.
Yeah, so all these sort of capabilities that you
all
get.
The Nerdio goodness.
All the Nerdio goodness put into on-prem as well.
So full support of hybrid.
Yep. So we're very excited to see where that can go. Obviously, still waiting for it to come out of GA and just see what it can do. So that's going to be really good. We're doing stuff with Intune. So we realised that a lot of our customers kind of use Intune and we're struggling with Intune as well. And with that, we've expanded into the physical desktop market as well. So if customers want to sort of get that Nerdio goodness with Intune, they can do. Obviously, we do what we do with everything that we do. We just make it easier to use and then sort of enhance the sort of admin experience. But we're very excited about is our sort of unified application management capabilities, which we're currently building, about to release. And that's essentially a unified application catalog where we're going to sort of bring in lots of multiple sources for applications. So that's going to be stuff like Winget, SCCM, Chocity, all those kind of things, and then put it into one single console. So a user can literally go log onto Nerdio console, view like Microsoft Office in their sort of Winget repo, click a button, and then push that out to either a host port or an image or a user, and then that will configure a policy, which means that every time you provision a new host in that host pool, it will automatically install the very latest version of that software as well. because we're using kind of WinGet APIs and stuff.
Because you're using delivering multiple file formats, I presume you can do Flex apps.
Of course. So we've actually been doing Flex apps for probably about 6 months now. So we worked with yourselves quite a while ago.
Yeah.
So within Nerdio, we basically have these things called scripted actions.
Yes.
And scripted actions essentially enable you to run PowerShell scripts in multiple times. Okay, so you can run a PowerShell script when you create a host. You can run a PowerShell script when you start up a host.
Yeah.
You can run a PowerShell script when you log off the host, that kind of thing. And what we were really impressed about with the FlexApp One capability is essentially the ability to attach an application to a sort of OS on the fly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't need to go through any installation procedure. I could package that application up as a FlexApp One package, put the package on an Azure file share, which we've done a storage block.
Yeah.
And then what we can do is within Nerdio, we have what we call our scripted actions, and we just configure those scripted actions to run when the VM starts up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And obviously, as you said, you're extending your capabilities out to physical desktops. And the beauty of FlexApp Ones is they can run offline as well. They don't need internet access. They're completely self-contained containers, but they're not. They appear like they're running on your operating system, but you don't have things like Windows rot because they're not, they're not in the registry, the system directory, none of that. So, and if you want to just take it off, it's just click of a button and it's gone. So
I'm going to share something with you. This is probably the first time you heard about this now. But one thing we're working on at the moment is the ability for users to run scripted actions themselves.
Right.
Okay.
Exclusive.
Exclusive. So within the Nedio portal, we've got a user self-service capability. Okay, where a user can log on. Obviously, this is single session desktops only. Where a user can log on and perform actions, so they can resize their desktop, they can start their own desktop, they can stop their own desktop. Now, what we're giving the user the ability to do now also is the ability to run those scripted actions. So if you think about that from a FlexApp One perspective, that means I can power up my VM.
Yeah.
I can then log on to the Nerdio self-service portal and then attach the application when I want to, and then stop it as well. So it gives the user the ability to install their own or attach their own applications on the fly.
That would be across AVD, Windows 365, and physical endpoints.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's a big development.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So it's something we're very excited about.
Okay, well, we'll obviously have to talk about that more when it gets near.
And give a demo, right?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. We will have to do demos and that kind of thing. That's cool. So we know about the kind of FlexApp One side, but obviously Nerdio are very focused on AVD as well, and the power of FlexApp is simplifying image management, which leads into what you part of what you guys do is all about simplification. So that's a kind of a good synergy. Whereas I know you can deliver all that power from your own Nerdio console, but we have customers who say dozens of images, then FlexApp Ones are not going to fit that use case, given that AVD is a larger scale type, that's where we kind of see the use case for introducing FlexApp as opposed to FlexApp One. So I think there's been a lot going on with what we're doing, and that kind of, as you said, the whole thing about improving that end user experience and giving them the control that I can see it as a real game changer, especially for
Definitely.
Okay. And can you say when that's coming out, or still to be decided?
I think it's in the next couple of months, but don't quote me on that. I don't know.
Some PM somewhere is like, no, we didn't.
That's why I said don't quote me on that.
Yeah, you heard it. Don't quote me on it. So just moving away from that kind of thing to a more kind of general look about what's going on. It's hard to kind of avoid what's going on with AI and what, in your opinion, is the likely impact on EUC with AI?
I think it's going to be massive. Certainly it's affecting all industries, and truth be known, I think nobody knows because we're in the world of an unknown here. I was actually at the Microsoft MVP Summit last week in Redmond.
Redacted.
Yeah, redacted. And it was even like Marcus Ulovich was saying, they don't know what's under the hood of ChatGPT. No one knows how this all works. No one knows how it knows all this information. And And I think a lot of people are scared, but they should be, because I think the general consensus is you should use it as an assistant to your job.
Yes.
To enhance it. I've seen a lot of people I've used it, I'll be honest with you. I mean, just the other day, I was struggling to think about content to write for a blog article. Put it into ChatGPT. It's like, please write me a blog post on this. And it did it. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it didn't copy it word for word, but I used it as a baseline for me to think about further stuff as well, right? And that's the point.
Yeah.
It just uses that now for desktop virtualization and VDI. So we're actually looking at it at Nedio. And what we're going to be doing, think about what Microsoft are doing with their kind of AI assistant, where you could tell it to give me a report on this, for example. So I think I primarily see two use cases for VDI. Number one is reporting, as in tell me how many people connected to my development host pool in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it gives you a nice little report of all those statistics, stuff like that. And then the second one is from an admin perspective. It's like, can you imagine just sitting there saying, please can you build me a desktop image which contains FlexApp One agent plus Microsoft Office plus Google Chrome, and also publish it out to East US 2.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's the whole kind of, it's the Iron Man Jarvis type thing where he just builds like the suit, but it's only because he's using an AI based system to build it.
Absolutely.
It's kind of, I think the only limit is what your imagination and what you can imagine to do, and that's the thing. I think we talk about. I think we have to embrace it essentially. Like I don't know who this quote was from, and I use it all the time, but it's not like. AI will not replace you. Someone who utilizes AI will replace you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's all about the same thing we've had for years, evolve or die, essentially. So you have to keep ahead of it. I've started looking at it. I looked at, I obviously used ChatGPT. I looked at Agent GPT, which is the next level. So Agent GPT at the moment works via a web browser.
Yeah.
You put in an ultimate goal. The AI then assigns all the various tasks to achieve that goal, and then utilizes your OpenAI API key to charge you, because there's a charge to do. It will only do like about 5 steps in a free demo bit, but if you actually put some money behind your AI key, it will just go on. And then there's another one which is it's a machine-based one, and you build it yourself, and there's no stop on it. You have to tell it to stop, and you could rack up a bill very quickly with something like that. And it's figuring out where these things fit, but we do want things to be simpler for the end user. So I think this just assists that.
Absolutely.
And pushes that forward. Yeah.
So I mean, I can tell you what we're doing in Nedio. So one thing which we're working on at the moment is essentially using something called AVD Modeler. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's basically going to do two things mainly. Number one, it's going to look at your environment and then make recommendations on that environment.
This is what Vadim was talking about in his session. I was wondering if it utilized AI or not.
Yeah, we're going to use AI to do all of that stuff. So we're basically going to look at the environment, look at like profile usages, look at CPU metrics, look at memory metrics, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, create models around that, and then use AI to make recommendations.
Okay, but it won't implement until.
No, we were planning to let it implement. So give you the option to implement as well.
Okay, but at the same time, the admin
can control
it. Yeah. It's not just going to go and start.
And the second one is auto scaling, obviously. So we're going to use AI to sort of monitor the auto scaling mechanisms. Yeah. So you look at usage and analytics, and then basically optimized auto scaling automatically for you as well. So that's coming soon.
Yeah, no, we're similar at Liquidware. We're looking at where we can implement it into our solutions. We're kind of more in the kind of conceptual phase at the moment. We don't have anything concrete, but there definitely will be AI elements to our software going.
So many use cases.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Unlimited use cases.
Yeah, like even basic stuff like looking up something, you're monitoring, you want to know what it is or something like so. Yeah. So yeah, there's multiple use cases. Yeah. Well, I think this has been a really good conversation. Yeah. So I thank you very much for your time, Neil.
Thank you.
We're going to go off and enjoy the rest of the day here at EUC Forum. Yep. So thanks very much.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.